It was not the most powerful design. The future does not belong to the loudest machine. It belongs to the most reliable one. In our industry, it will not be the company with the most systems that would prevail. It will be the one with the most consistent leadership. Because efficiency without discipline is fragile. I repeat, efficiency without discipline is fragile. Repeatability is necessary. And intelligence without culture does not last. Intelligence without culture does not last. Today, our ships are becoming smarter, more connected, more efficient than ever before. Technology is advancing, regulations are tightening, audits, surveys, inspections are becoming more behavioral. Expectations are rising. And if we look back into history, look at the industrial revolution and the social revolution and how they are interrelated. Every time productivity increases, expectations increase with it. Not only expectations of performance, but expectations of leadership, of fairness, of professionalism. Aviation taught the world how to manage human error. Oil and gas taught the world how to manage catastrophic risk. Shipping already has the global framework. But our competitive edge now is not regulation. But our competitive edge now is not regulation. It is leadership. It is the leadership in this room that matters. The next leap in our industry will not come from smarter ships alone. It'll come from how consistently we lead the people on them. Smarter ships would come. How we lead them, how we work on them is going to make a difference. So what must we do? Let me suggest 3 comments or 3 commitments. First and foremost, think and act like an owner. I said this in a small seminar or a small discussion I had in Delhi a few weeks back. And since this was taken well, I would like to repeat it here as well. Think and act like an owner. Do what an owner would do. Before you sign a permit, before you postpone maintenance, before you push a schedule, before you take a deviation, before you take a shortcut, before you think that it is okay to do, ask yourself, if I owned this vessel, would I do the same or not? What decision would I take? If you look at the ISM, look at all the regulations that have come in, they come in with one single point. If you understand the way ships were manned earlier and the way ships are manned now, if you understand these 2 pointers, ships originally were manned by people who owned the ships. There was no need for an ISM. There was no need for MLC. There was no need for ISPS. There was no need for anything. No regulations were required at that point of time because everything was down to one single point: commercial interest, safety of the people, and safety of the ship. The commercial entity has to be safe. People, because that is a ship owner himself, people have to be safe, and the vessel must move to to deliver cargo and to make money. Simple as that. Regulations have not made it complex. Regulations have only made it more tangible, more clear, because ship owners do not sail on the ships anymore. They would like you to take that responsibility. And when you take this responsibility, it is necessary for you to do exactly what a ship owner would do himself. It is your life. Firefighting equipment on board a ship is for you to handle, because it is for your life. Life-saving appliances are for you to manage so that you can save your life. And commercial interest of a ship has to be protected because you partake a small portion of the money that a ship owner makes. It is in your interest as much as in the ship owner's interest to make sure that these three factors are covered. All the regulations that are written or would be written in future or ever would be based on one single fulcrum: do what an owner would do himself, or make do by the people who are on the ship to do what an owner would do himself. You would not go wrong. Anytime you leave the bridge and you go down, anytime during coastal navigation you leave the bridge, you think whether an owner would do it himself or not. When you say, I can postpone this maintenance now because I'm tired or I'm just about to finish my contract, is it what the owner would do himself? If the answer to that question comes to your mind is yes, do it. Because then there would be a larger picture that you have seen that others have not. So that was the first commitment that I would like you guys to make. Second, remain curious. And curious is not surprised, or is not surprise. You know, sometimes we use synonyms, sometimes we use words that have similar meaning, yet a completely different perspective. Curious is not surprise. Curious is to look within and to understand things from a perspective of something that you would do before you start a job, to ask, what could go wrong? Don't be surprised when things go wrong, because destination is the process of the journey that you have taken. Destination is the process of the journey that you have taken. Be curious, not surprised. Don't be surprised. When things have gone wrong, it is not because of, in majority of the cases, not because of external factors. It is because of people taking that path that led to an incident. So be curious. Ask yourself, what could go wrong? After a job ends, ask, what did we miss? Ask your junior officers, what do you see but what I do not? And vice versa, train them by asking them, what do I see that you do not? Curiosity prevents complacency. Curiosity prevents assumption. Curiosity prevents accidents. And third, what I mentioned earlier about the leadership. Most of you here are senior leaders on the ship. And I do not want to rank you. It's about leadership. Leader has no rank. Leader does not need any rank. It could be a second engineer on a ship and still be a leader. It could be a third officer on a ship and could still be a leader. I would consider you sitting here as leader of your own domain. And what you need to do, I would request, I would suggest, I would nudge. And nudge is a beautiful word. Sometime we'll discuss about nudge, but I would request, nudge, suggest that lead with respect. Mutual trust and mutual respect is the foundation or should be the foundation of every relationship, whether it is with the people around you on ships, whether it is with your colleagues sitting here, or with your family when you go back home. Mutual trust and mutual respect is something that I believe is, is non-negotiable. So lead with respect. Authority, of course, will exist on board. Hierarchy will always exist on board. But respect must exist at every level, at every step. No humiliation, no fear-based management, no silence culture. Psychological safety is not a soft concept. It is a safety control. Please understand this very clearly. Psychological safety is not a soft concept. It is a safety control. A person should feel safe being on your ship, being in your presence, and being while you are there. Because at the end of the day, safety is not an operating cost. Safety is the currency of confidence. I repeat, safety is the currency of confidence. Confidence keeps our vessels employed. Confidence protects our licenses. Confidence builds character trust, charterer trust. Confidence protects your careers. Confidence protects our families. Of course, we cannot control freight rates. We cannot control geopolitics, not yet. But we can control how we lead. Think like an owner, stay curious, lead with respect. And remember, in every port, in every inspection, in every activity that we do, in every voyage that we dispatch, safety is the currency of confidence. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, sir, for those motivating words. And your message for the day is, I think everybody will agree with it, that to think and act like an owner, to be curious always, and to lead with respect. So, with this, we thank you, sir, again for always setting our moral compass in the right direction. And I believe that this was a perfect way to start our engines for the day. So moving ahead, as we all know, in shipping, if safety is good, everything is good. So with this note, I would like to invite my colleague, Captain Abhishek Dwivedi, to present Fleet Safety Share. He has been working as an MSI in our New Delhi office with Unit 6. So, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks a lot. So, I wanted to start the safety share with a different note, but since the tone for the start has been set to curiosity, my mind now totally shifts. That this safety share actually is because we were curious. The crew on board were curious how to improve or how to innovate or how to exercise an additional safety measure on board. So no matter how good an equipment you provide to the crew or how good a system you give to person, if we don't have a framework to use it, it is not uh, usable. So we'll start with the second slide. Yeah. So to all of you, please, who think your near misses go unnoticed or we don't monitor, this is one thing which has brought our attention. You know, when we see a trend. So there was a trend when we were noticing there were a lot of near misses going related to gangway and gangway rigging and personal safety. You know, so when we went closer and wanted to ask the crew or to the masters, why are we getting such near misses with related to gangway rigging, and we have so many incidents with related to gangways and man overboard. So what we found that the crew are using the safety equipments, the harnesses, the fall preventive devices, but the framework, the design of these places, the gangway, does not give them an access to a continued safety app. So basically, if you are rigging a gangway, you are restricted in mobility when you are using a fall preventive device or you are using a safety harness. If a crew has to shift from one place to another, they have to unrig their safety harness, move to another fixed point, again use it. In this process, it is human. You will miss it. People will go unattached to a line at night and days, and there might be an incident. So when this concern was noticed, we went curious and we discussed with the onboard crew. Okay, what solution can be brought to this problem? So on a pilot project, we started this innovation or protective measure on 3 of our vessels, where we installed a running wire. Yeah. So, so, so basically, this is an actual a photograph from a vessel where this was installed. So on the gangway, we installed a running wire with a fixed iPad, and where the axis where you can attach your safety line, you can attach your harnesses or fall preventive device via roller shackle, and the crew has a continuous mobility for 4.5 direction. You have 2 to 3 people can also be used in this cases, in such cases where it does not require you to detach your harnesses or detach your safety lines while moving from fore to aft. So once we gave this we use this on board, and there was a feedback from the crew that it is helping them a lot, and it has caused an ease of access, it has caused an ease of mobility, and additionally it gives them a continuous access to safety. So this is has this fleet safety will be after on 3 pilot vessels. We'll be sharing with all the vessels. There are some additional checks which we are with regards to the safety line which we are using, and components that are to be included in our SMS or PMS. After rigorous checks on those, these will be added to all vessels for the safety share. So do do the point is, be curious if there is a problem. We need to have a solution to any issues. Yes, there is training, there is access, there's discussion. Actually solve any framework which you require. Your cooperation and your involvement in the process is very, very fundamental. So this is something, the concern which has been brought by you guys, and it has been noticed by us. So that is where your involvement becomes very important. This is where we go from reactive to proactive. This is where we go from near miss to pro safe. So please continue reporting near misses so that we can evolve, we can improve, and we can stay curious for safety. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. We'll start.
Thank you, Captain Abhishek. Thank you for that wonderful insight and pointing out that the safety indeed is the most special aspect of a seafaring profession. Moving ahead in our today's agenda, we would like to invite Captain Gaurav Gupta to present the QHSE yearly insights. Captain Gaurav Gupta is our ADPA. He is operating from New Delhi office. So, ladies and gentlemen, a good round of applause for Captain Gaurav Gupta.
Work with the vision to lead in safe, sustainable, and ethical ship management. Our mission to deliver world-class performance through innovation, commitment, and operational excellence. Our core value of safety, integrity, innovation, and respect. We have the UMMS growth chart on the screen now, as Vanessa has already discussed. From managing just 9 ships in 2012, we have steadily grown to around 80 vessels in 2025. Right now, we have about 77 vessels at this moment. I feel proud to highlight a milestone in 2025 that we have stepped into the tanker industry with the takeover of 2 chemical tankers. We would like to sincerely thank our owners for the trust and confidence they have shown in us. We assure you that we will continue to uphold the highest standard of the safety, operational excellence, and continuous improvement. Before I move to the next slide, I would like to ask one question. What is QHSE? Why it is important? Anyone would like to share their thoughts? Anyway, it's a foundation of the safe and sustainable operation. It is the backbone of an organization. Now, we may say that QHSE is important because it established procedures, policies, and compliance. But QHSE is not only about procedures and compliance. It is about protecting lives, protecting environment, and protecting owners and organization interest. Now, let us come to the achievements we have in 2025. Year 2025 has been a remarkable year for us. We have achieved several milestones in 2025. As an organization, we believe that compliance alone is not enough. So we have consciously gone beyond the regulatory requirements by taking various steps. We have undertaken ISO certifications, we have gone through the BMSQ audit, and very soon we are going to have the RightShip assessment for the company. In the next week, we have the RightShip assessment scheduled. These initiatives reflect our commitment to continuous improvement, transparency, and achieving higher standard of safety. We have successfully achieved ISO certification of 14001 and 45001. 14001 is all about environmental standards. And we have to recognize system of standards that ensure standards and strengthen our approach towards pollution prevention, environmental risk management, and sustainable operation. ISO 45001 is about occupational health and safety. So with this, we have set safety standard of our system for hazard identification, risk control measures, and creating safe working environment and condition for our seafarers as well as the shore team. Achieving ISO 14000 and 45000 reflects our strong commitment towards environmental protection and health and safety of our people. The next step I would like to highlight is BMSQ audit. BMSQ audit is aligned with the dry BMS that is developed by the Rio Tinto and the RightShip. It is carried out by the independent authority, independent third party, that is Wade Maritime Services, on behalf of South 32. South 32 is a global mining and metal company that operates as a major charterer, transporting commodities like bauxite, magazine, and other minerals. We proudly managed to achieve a score of 2.6 in 2025 as compared to 2024 by having a comprehensive independent third-party audit. We can reduce the time and expense associated with multiple repeated and time-consuming inspection by various charterers. As we have already discussed that we have stepped into the tanker industry with the takeover of two chemical tanker, that is MT Sunflight and motor tanker Vitality. So we have the more tankers coming in very soon. For these two tankers, we have done SIRE inspections within the very short span of time after takeover. In addition, we underwent the TMSA audits, that is Tanker Management Self-Assessment Audit, with the score of 2.6, that is demonstrating a structured management approach, our robust system, and our commitment to continuous improvement in tanker operation. The next one is RightShip. So, operating mainly in the dry fleet industry, RightShip has become an integral part of our operational requirement. Much like wetting in tanker industry, it is encouraging ship managers, owners to move beyond minimum compliance and strive for higher standard of operational safety. We have always regarded RightShip as a partner in our journey towards safer and more efficient operation rather than only an inspection authority. During 2025, we maintained a 5-star rating of our fleet, reflecting consistent operational excellence and a strong safety culture across our fleet. We continue to demonstrate transparency and accountability through our proactive and voluntary incident reporting to the right ship rather than a reactive compliance. During the year, we underwent about 22 right ship inspections with an average finding of about 18 findings per inspection, while the right ship average score in the industry of the finding is about 22 findings per inspections. During this inspection, the total average of the deficiency is 1.57 per inspection per vessel. So nil deficiency inspection improved to 60.3% as compared to 51.8% in 2024. Our deficiency ratio has also improved from 1.72 to 1.57. So this is encouraging progress for which I would like to thank all our seafarers and shore team. But we must be clear, this is not where we want to be. There is a lot of scope for the improvement. Our overall PSC performance shows a positive trend, while clearly indicating further scope of improvement. In this aspect, I would like to engage you guys. We have been doing everything, like we are sharing our fleet summary of the findings every month. We have been briefing all the crew before they join the vessel. Whenever there is a superintendent attendance on board, they are also discussing with the vessels. Whenever there is a crew seminar or crew dialogue in between, we have been discussing same with all the crew and the shore-based management team. But in some areas, the finding is still coming repeatedly. Our top 3 deficiency area are fire safety, MLC, and certificate and documentation. So a PSC inspector comes on board only for a few hours. Somewhere it might go up to the 4 hours, 6 hours if it is expanded inspection. But on an average, the PSC inspection goes on for 2 to 3 hours. The question is, he comes for only 2 hours. He is totally unknown to your vessel. But when he comes, he point out few deficiencies which are very obvious. So this cannot be a knowledge gap. Why our onboard team could not identify this? This cannot be a knowledge gap. This is not a resource issue. This is about ownership and attention to details. So we must ask ourselves, why didn't we see it first? We must ask ourselves, why was it not corrected during routine checks? We must ask ourselves, are we truly inspecting our vessels with the same critical eyes? Please remember, the difference between a deficiency and nil inspection is your personal commitment. So we have a lot of masters, chief engineer, and other officers here. Any feedback? How we can reduce this repeated finding on board? Anyone? Anyone? Don't hesitate. Please come up with a unique idea. Come on. We have recently also initiated a safety campaign.
Communicate. I don't think I need.
Good morning, sir. I'm First Engineer Portillo. I'm trembling now. Sorry, ah. Sir, a problem is, do you agree? First, engine, give us spares! Give us spares, sir. Give us spares. Sorry, sorry. My heart is trembling. Give us spares, sir. The original spares. Chief Engineer! Chief Engineer! Kindly react.
Some ideas.
Voices from the audience. So the question is, how can we avoid repeated deficiencies? Come on, guys, can't be sweaty fingers.
You all have to only decide this one, how to prevent it, because you all be selling on board.
You are man in black.
Uh, for me, sir, the same with the second engineer, sir. Because during my last vessel, that was the main concern. The lack of spares led to deficiencies, and we could not we could not immediately correct them. We had to wait for spares, and at times I finished my contract without the spares coming in, sir. So I had to turn over the problem to the next engineer.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Any other apart from?
So there, yeah.
Hello, sir. Good morning, everybody. I'm Second Engineer Soriano from this company also, sir. So, as I've mentioned earlier, sir, by Mr. Mr. Binay Gupta, sir, we should be a good leader. But not all leaders, sir, is reliable, especially in times of emergencies and times of big decision making. So, as a leader, you have to show also to your people that you are reliable. So so they have to respect you. In times of emergency, people don't think anymore. Okay, sir? So they only seize one person where they can rely. So this would be a big help to the people on board. Plus, after being a leader also, after any incident, even it's small, or big, you have to document it. Document it, document it, and share it with the other vessel through the help of user in the office. I think this would be a better way to improve something, sir.
Very interesting point. Reliability. But I think you, as a leader on a ship, you have to be seen as a reliable leader. 100% true. Correct? Because leadership means reliability.
I'm sorry to say to us, our officers, not all officers, we still have unreliable officers. They can also enter even this a good company, but still we take some material not so reliable officers.
Do you have a garden? Do you have a small garden in your house nearby? Very good. So when you plant flowers, weeds come with it. What we need to do is to remove those weeds and keep cleaning our garden. So when you see an unreliable person, it is your safety at stake. You need to remove that weed and make sure that you remain safe. Very true. But you are the person on board. How would we know who is reliable? You go and see a poster of a movie. You go inside the movie hall. Movie is bad. So you will tell 10, 20 other people, movie is bad, don't go there. Right? If you do not tell anyone, then how would anybody know? Poster looks beautiful. Movie is bad. We see a person on a poster, his CV. We look at his credentials. We hire. So it is your responsibility to keep your house clean. Agreed? Yeah? Agreed. And Kano, one question. We are talking about fire safety. What spares has got to do with it? It's your safety. We are talking about LSA, FFA. I can understand. And documentation. Point is, what you're saying is correct. It is about the motivation. Motivation to realize that the company takes care of you. For that is important. But for your own safety, for your own betterment, it is necessary that when you have a problem, raise it up. When you think that something is definitely wrong, stop. Okay? You have the right to make sure that you receive the necessary support. Okay? Glad that you brought it up. We will discuss this separately about the spare parts. But this is about a concept of your safety, your life. How many times would you jump from a floor, jump from the terrace? How many times? Never. Yeah? Whether you have an option or not, you're not going to jump on a terrace. This is like jumping from a terrace. This is your safety that we talk about. Yeah? As I said, it's about ownership. You have to take that ownership. All of you. Yeah? Please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your feedbacks. But we need to remember it's about ownership and attend to details. We all are experienced. We believe in you. Whenever you make a round, whenever you make an inspection, you should have an eye from the PSC point of view, from the auditor's point of view. Not as master, not as chief engineer, not as officer. You should be able to identify what a external person, PSC inspector or an auditor, comes and he will be able to identify those issues within a couple of hours. We are there on board serving for 4 months, 6 months, 2 months. Why we could not identify these issues before somebody else come and he pointed out. So we should have that eye to identify and rectify before anybody else from outside come and point it out. So this slide highlight how we are using incidents, trend analysis to drive focused preventive efforts. Looking at the chart on your right, on your left, we have analyzed industry injury trends. The data indicate that hand injury remain the highest contributor, followed by slip and trip and other operational injuries. Eye injury also remain a significant risk area. When we have compared our fleet performance with the industry benchmark, we see a generic trend that maximum injuries are there in hand injuries, followed by eye injuries. A couple of years ago, we used to have slip and trip injuries as a major contributor to our data. But we have ran a campaign on slip and trip in 2023 and 24, and proud to say that we are able to control those type of injuries in our fleet. Now we are running a campaign on hand injury and eye injury. But for same, we seek your support to eliminate these injuries, which will be only possible if there would be safety culture incorporated in day-to-day operation on board. Please remember, the greatest safety culture is when people continue to work even when no one is watching. So now let me discuss the QHSE initiatives, what we have taken in 2025 to improvise our performance. Improvement does not happen only by intentions. It happens through structured action. So these actions we have taken from the QHSE, from the organization side, based on the performance, finding trends, incident learnings, and various other informations. Our key objective is very clear, not just to improve numbers, but to strengthen our safety culture and operational reliability across the fleet. Our key initiatives are technology-based, innovation and use of technology, pollution prevention and ocean protection, care for our people and seafarers. So in terms of innovation and use of technologies, we will just highlight three main aspects. As a pilot project, we have provided AI-powered maritime CCTV on 2 of the vessels on various locations, such as bridge, mooring stations, engine room. So these AI-powered cameras, they detect few basic features which is already fed in the system. Let's say if on bridge, a watchkeeper is sitting on the pilot chair, not moving for a very long time, probably 1 hour, 2 hours. So these cameras detect the position of this watchkeeper and mark it as a non-compliance or safety alert or unsafe act in the system. Same as in engine room. If a particular area is not being watched, or if a particular area, nobody has gone to that particular area during a particular time, a specific time limit, so that is also marked as unsafe act, because every engine room space, every engine room area has to be rounded off, has to be taken round for the safety, for taking different parameters. So these all database comes in the software. The login ID and credentials has been provided to the master and chief engineer. They can see all these aspects on their vessels, discuss this in the toolbox meeting, and improvise accordingly. Our objective for this system is not to keep a close watch on the ship, but to improvise safety culture by learning their own mistakes, by learning their own lapses. Another use of technology, we have our guest from the electronic logbook service provider. He will be discussing it further. In short, electronic logbooks will also enhance transparency, facilitate easier verification during inspections, and support our move toward digitization. It will also improve accuracy, standardization, and real-time availability of the record. Third aspect in the technology section, we have technology to enhance navigational safety. Chartward has been our long partner since long. They are providing e-globe actives on our ships, on majority of our ships. They have Myra onboard ships which facilitate passage planning, ENC orders, etc. In the same line, we have My Fleet. With My Fleet software and tools, we can monitor how the passage plan has been prepared on vessels. The passage plan has to be prepared on Myra. From shore side, the PIC can monitor what are the issues in the passage plan. Let's say if the vessel is going on a shallow with the UKC non-compliance, it gives the alert to the PIC. This can be taken up with the vessel and corrected accordingly. Not only at the passage planning stage, during the vessel voyage monitoring is also being monitored. Voyage is also being monitored with the help of these tools. Any unplanned deviation from the intended route lead to an alert to PIC, which in turn is checked with the vessels. This additional layer of monitoring not only strengthen our awareness, but also support the vessel and help in early detection of any navigational risk. In terms of training, we have collaborated with Marine Pals. Earlier also we have CBT programs. So this is the new Marine Pal software, which we are going to implement on board in phase-wise manner. This provides short videos of 3 to 5 minutes in different areas, safety and environmental aspect of the shipboard operations, such as enclosed safety, enclosed space entry, navigational safety, marpole, safe mooring operation, etc., etc. This software has been developed keeping in mind nowadays new generation, they are very much habitual of the social media. They like to see shorts, scrolling up and down, short videos. So it is very difficult for them to engage in long duration video and stick to it. So purpose of 3 to 5 minute video is that the crew doesn't lose interest and go through the full video solving its purpose. Pollution prevention. As a part of our commitment to environmental protection and sustainable operation, we have taken some practical steps to reduce single-use plastic across our fleet. Portable RO plants has been given almost on all the ships for the safe drinking water, removing dependency on bottled mineral water. In addition, steel bottles are also being provided to vessels in phase-wise manner, where they reduce the plastic bottle use on board further. So these measures have resulted in significant reduction in the plastic waste generation on board, supporting our clean and safe ship operation. Now let's come to the care for our people and seafarers. At UMMS, we do not see crew as our employees. They are part of UMMS family. This is also a spirit behind our initiative like ProSafe and our safety programs. We encourage reporting of unsafe conditions, unsafe act, near misses, best practices, because every report is just not a formality. It's a step towards protecting a colleague, step towards protecting a friend, a family member. So we believe when people feel valued and cared, they work safer, look after each other, and build a strong safety culture. We stand by our people when it matters most. After the tropical cyclone Oman, we have supported approximately more than 50 crew members. I would like to thank our Manila team to facilitate these arrangements. Big round of applause for them. So our whistleblower policy has been in place for a very long time. However, using technology, we have created a poster with the QR code that was released in 2025. By scanning QR code, any of the crew member can report any non-compliance, environmental violation, harassment, or anything, any grievance. So we can assure you that all your complaints through this program shall be followed with the required investigation and resolution. Also, for the benefit of our crew, we have introduced Sea Buddy applications where crew can connect with each other and company. It gives them a platform for social life, ship's life, wellness hub, and helpline. This platform also gives them an accessibility to 24 by 7 mental support and mental health care counseling professionals whenever they need it. We have increased the free mobile data for crew to 2 GB. From 1 GB, earlier we used to have the 1 GB, and now the 2 GB, that is free data. Further, it can be bought on board. Providing medical covers not only to the crew, but also to their family members. Through these initiatives in healthcare, mental wellness, crew training, family connections, remote medical assistance, social responsibility, and a strong safety culture, we continue to invest in what matters most, our people and the world around us. At UMS, we consider crew as our asset. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation, but let us remember that safety is not created by procedures, equipment, and technology. It is created by people who choose to remain alert, who choose to remain disciplined and professional every single day. So let us take a vote today. Together, ship and shore, officers and crew, managers and partners, we will continue to strengthen our safety culture and operational excellence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gaurav sir, for the QHSC yearly insights, the achievements, and the challenges. And as we all know, the numbers don't lie, but thankfully they were in our favor this year, and we hope to keep continuing that. With that, now we invite Mr. Christopher. He is an ex-sailor and presently performing the role of a nautical inspector for Marshall Islands for his presentation on flag inspection and PSC inspections from a flag state inspector point of view. Mr. Christopher, stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone. To our company officials, Mr. Vinay Gupta, Harish, is he here? Hi, morning. To our guests, captains, chief engineers, officers, engineers, thank you for having me here. I'm Christopher Rugal. I am a nautical inspector for the Marshall Islands, and my goal today is simple: to help your vessels avoid PSC detentions through significant compliance, transparency, and operational discipline. Let's keep this short. I actually have 42 slides and I am given 30 minutes. I don't have much time, so let's begin. The Republic of Marshall Islands and Port State control PSC inspections. A little something about Marshall Islands is that we have a worldwide network, as you can see on the map. It is divided into 3 regions. We have here the Region 3, which is subdivided into 2 subdivisions, which is Region 3A and 3B. In the middle, we have the Region 2, which is subdivided into Region 2A, Region 2B, and Region 2C. And the last part, as you can see, we have the Region 1. This means wherever you are in the world, we have support ready. Skip this one. So for Region 1 support, If you're in Far East, Southeast Asia, Australia, or New Zealand, the Hong Kong office is your contact point. For vessels in South Korea, Japan, uh, Busan is your contact point. Now, Region 2A support for North, East Europe, West Russia, West Central, and South Africa. Roosendahl handles this area. North Africa, Mediterranean, and Black Sea, Piraeus is your contact. Region 2C, for Middle East, Red Sea, and Goa, Dubai will assist you. And in the Indian subcontinent, Mumbai is your contact. Region 3A and 3B, for the Americas, Hawaii, including Guam, this is supported by our Baltimore office. On a more serious note, here is the overlapping PSC detentions by Memorandum of Understanding. As you can see, Tokyo MOU is still the toughest players. Last year we had 84 detentions and 53 of them were from China. This is followed by Australia, which we had 17 detentions, and then Canada with 4 and others. This reminds us that PSC behavior depends on the area. Some ports are extremely strict. You see these red zones? Those are detention hotspots. If your vessels goes in that area, please prepare thoroughly. Fire safety, LSAs, emergency systems, ISM failures. These are the top detention triggers. PSC doesn't want excuses. They want working equipment today, not tomorrow. As you can see, fire safety and life-saving appliances continue to be common problem areas. This could mean that crews assume things work without actually testing them. These ports are high risk. If your voyage plan includes these locations, double down on your checks. Okay. As you are all well aware, AMSA is extremely strict. The items listed here, they are non-negotiable for AMSA. Okay. Let's talk about do's and don'ts. What should you do? Please be transparent. I cannot stress this enough. I don't know how many times I'm gonna repeat this in my presentation. Transparency is very important. Carry out real-time compliance checks prior to arrival. Give any PSC official your full attention. They need that. For any known or perceived issues of non-compliance, please communicate early with the flag or class. Also, please do request assistance from the local classification society or RO. Please take note of the word local. I will discuss that later. And you should not try to hide deficiencies. Give excuses for non-operational equipment or wait until PSC is on board to alert the flag of a known issue. You should also not request only to the main office of class. Always involve the local office. Also, this is very obvious or arrogant toward PSC officers. So So the current PSC matters in China. Who among the crew has been to China the past few months? Nobody? And who is aware or who knows about this MSA? No one. That's okay. Rest assured, when your vessel go to China, we will send or we will share these MSAs to the vessel. So loss of maneuverability, that's almost an automatic detention in China now. So please be guided by the MSA 07-5 and MSA 10-25. Any failure of machinery resulting in the loss of maneuverability may almost certainly result in a PSC detention in China. It will trigger an expanded PSC inspection, and the PSC officers will search for any deficiency, giving them reason to issue a Code 30, even if it's not related to machinery failures. This reminds me, I think, just last week, around February 12th, if I'm not mistaken. We have this one vessel. She was about to leave China already. And during departure, she experienced a main engine malfunction. Unfortunately, she had to return to berth. And once she reverted, guess what happened? 5 PSC officers boarded. They conducted an expanded inspection, and eventually the vessel got detained. Can you guess what was the deficiency that was given Code 30? It was an issue with water mist nozzle, totally not related to the machinery failure. So yeah, if a ship loses control, PSC will search the vessel for any reason to detain the vessel. As per our Marine Notice 5-034-5, MSD 340 is mandatory for Australia and China. It is also extremely useful in other ports. Mr. Gurav raised a question a while ago. He asked, how can we find these deficiencies? And we as the flag, this is our approach. We send these to vessels prior arrival to Australia and China. Who is familiar with the MSD 340? Who goes to Australia and China? Yeah.
Some of you are raising hands, but very slow and very low. Slow and low is not going to help.
Let's do that again. Who is familiar with the MSD 340?
Yeah, Chief. Come on,
Thank you.
Alberto. Yeah. Higher. Yes, good. At least few hands now. And also that notice, I am sure everyone is aware. Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
So I am sure everyone is aware if the vessel stops in a channel in Australia, in China, the vessel would get detained. We have sent this notice several times. I have seen it. So I'm sure all of you have seen it. We have majority bulk carriers. Vessel without going to China cannot work as a bulk carrier. So one more time, does everyone know this, that a vessel, if it stops in a channel while the pilot is on board or for any other reason, it stops, the vessel would get detained? How many of you know it? Higher, please. Yes. Good. 2, 3, 4. Come on, quickly. Yes, very good. 3. Some more hands, please. Yes, very good. 1 hand there. Very good. 1. Yes. Now, come on. Don't be shy. This is nothing for you to be shy about, right? At least now you know. Raise your hands at least now. Now does everybody know? Does everybody know now? Can we have a raise of hand, please? Very good. Still some people are not raising hands. Please, one more time. I would like to see some energy in this room, please. Very good. Some people still not raising hands, but majority have. So last time, can we have a raise of hand to understand that if a vessel stops in a channel in China, the vessel would get detained? Raise of hands, please. Thank God. Very good. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Viday. So back to MSD 340. Use it seriously. It can save you from trouble because it highlights the most common Code 30 items. I'm sure all the captains who go to Australia and China, they are familiar with this one. About 80% of detentions happen because crews complete checklist on paper, but don't actually check the equipment. Remember, paper is not enough. You've seen this many times when the vessel just tick, yes, 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 yes. That will not help you, okay? MSD 340 contains the most common Code 30 deficiencies noted by AMSA and the China Maritime Safety Administration or MSA. However, this checklist can assist crews in preparing for possible PSC inspections all across the Far East, Australia, and New Zealand. While at sea, before arriving at next port, report any defects to the administrator. Furthermore, especially for China, Singapore, Australia, and New Zealand, all defects to the local PSC authorities in the upcoming port of call using their reporting forms. So for Australia, they have this Form 18 and 19. You are required to use that. Okay, remember, report defects early. Late reporting looks like hiding, and PSC will assume the worst. Again, transparency builds trust. If you report early, you get a code 17. If you hide things, you get a code 30. Code 17 again means rectified before departure, and code 30, the vessel is detained. PSC knows who the local technicians are. The spares were brought up a while ago. They know which spares exist locally. So do not bother telling them that they are not available, unless, of course, it truly is not available. Proactive reporting, building trust and cooperation. Why report inoperable equipment? Reporting inoperable equipment enables the administrator to provide additional flag and coastal state instructions to ensure that all relevant parties are aware of the defect, the intentions to repair, and the risk mitigation implemented on board. Reporting inoperable equipment demonstrates an effective implementation of the safety management system and creates an atmosphere of trust, transparency, and PSC. So reporting defects shows that your SMS is alive. PSC loves that. It signals control. Handling defects and inoperable equipment. Sometimes, despite everyone's best efforts, defects and equipment fails occur. They are machines, right? We can expect breakdown. Even as humans, we break sometimes. So what can be done to mitigate the risk? First, plan for repair or replacement. Open and timely communication with the flag state and coastal states. And always seek guidance from the administrator when in doubt. If something breaks, communicate early. Don't wait until arrival. Just tell the flag and PSC what's going on. Again, I cannot stress this enough. One word, transparency. This alone prevents most detentions. When you call Australia, we will send you a pre-arrival warning email. This email includes the AMSA Form 36, AMSA Marine Notice 2023-04, Marine Notice 2025-06, Pilot Ladders Prohibition, Port Authority of New South Wales, our Marine Notice 5-034-5, the MSD 340, and Sea Wage Questionnaire. Again, who is familiar with this list? Thank you. Who is familiar, who is aware, who replies to the emails when you submit them to us completely? That's me, at your service. Okay, use them properly. They're updated based on real PSC cases. Same goes for vessels calling China. Here we include the Marine Notice 5-034-5, MSD 340, China MSA, provisions on control of targeting ships, updated guideline on the prevention of collision in coastal waters of China, and the MSAs I mentioned, sorry. The MSAs I mentioned, 07-25 and MSA 10-25. Let's continue. Crews and operators who take the supplied documents seriously and properly test each piece of equipment mentioned physically what happens. The risk of equipment failure and severe PSC actions can be reduced significantly. On the other hand, crews and operators who do not pay attention to the supplied documents or use them just as paper exercise, what happens is defective equipment will be observed by others, reported to PSC, and severe PSC actions will follow. Again, crews who test equipment physically avoid detentions. If you just tick boxes, yes, 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 you will most likely get detained. Please take time to look at the graph. Everyone in the port sees you. Pilots, tugboats, port workers, even locals. Anything unsafe will be reported to PSP. Anybody who has experience? I remember we have handled cases where stevedores report the unsafe actions on board the vessels. Mostly pilots in Australia report unsafe pilot ladders, AMSA boards in the vessel get to. As far as we from RMI is concerned, here's how to reduce PSC intervention. Step 1, follow all pre-arrival checks using MSD 340 and AMSA 36. If all is operational and no defects are found, the risk of severe PSC actions has been significantly reduced. But what happens if you find any defects? It has also been repeated a while ago. Bring it up, report it. Okay, the next step would be report any deficiency of critical equipment, never try to hide it. But who will you report to? Report to flag, to class, and PSC. And when you do the report, please do not rely on agents, especially when reporting to PSC. Do not think that when you use the agents to pass the report to AMSA, they will do it. AMSA or other PSC, if they have reporting forms, you are required to use them. So again, communicate directly with PSC flag class. And then what happens next? The flag may issue a dispensation or an acknowledgement, and the vessel can proceed until the first port only. Okay? Dispensations allow you to sail, but only to the first port. Repairs must be arranged immediately, and PSC may even call shops to confirm spare availability. Let's continue. Crew or service technicians can repair the equipment. What happens next? Class is to board for verification and to issue their survey report. The class submits the report to PSC and flag state for final acceptance. If all is accepted by flag and PSC, the vessel may depart. But what happens if the crew or service technicians cannot repair? You have to prepare a risk assessment, implement alternative measures to mitigate the risk, class to review the above and send their recommendation directly to the flag state. If repairs aren't possible, do a risk assessment, apply temporary measures, and coordinate it with class and flag. Consult PSC and see if they, as the coastal state authority, accept the alternative measures and the class recommendation. Next, the flag state may accept the class recommendation and may authorize conditions and short-term certification. If the flag does not accept, further advice will be given. But remember, PSC decides whether temporary measures are acceptable. Their judgment is always final. After class has issued all the relevant documentation, submit it to PSC and flag state. If all is acceptable, the PSC and the flag state, the vessel may depart. Mr. Vinay, I think I catch you mentioning about there was a time when commercial is paramount, right? But it is not the case nowadays. Submit all documentation, never postpone repairs for commercial reasons because PSC won't accept it. They just don't care.
Christopher, sorry, I never mentioned that. All I would like to say here is that the vessels are designed to trade. Vessels are designed to load cargo, discharge cargo.
Yeah.
And whatever you do, finally the vessel should sail safely and efficiently.
Yeah.
So as long as, to my point, and I would like to, I mean, I'm not contesting, but what I'm trying to say, as long as the vessel, as long as the crew on board or people on board, they think as an owner, they would think about the commercial aspect. So if a crew is tired, if a person is tired and he is not fit to navigate a vessel, then the vessel should be stopped
Yes.
for commercial reason.
Yes.
For commercial reason, you are going to have an accident and it's going to be more expensive than a delay.
That's correct. Yeah.
So I do not mean that we should not look at the commercial aspect. Commercial aspect means to have a vessel sail safely and efficiently.
Yes. What I'm saying was, I think I may be mistaken, but Akashu, you mentioned that there was a time before, but because we have the regulations now, it is not.
No, all I'm saying, there was a time when the ship owners were sailing themselves.
Yeah, okay.
So if the ship owner was sailing himself, he would not allow a vessel to sail with people who are tired and not fit to work.
Yeah. I got you.
MLC has come in because people were made to sail, or people were made to work even though they were tired and they were not ready to sail or ready to navigate. So point is, if we think as an owner, then all these regulations have a different meaning.
Mhm.
The regulations have been made to make it more tangible, to make it more clearer for everyone to know what they're supposed to do. So the basic principle still stays the same. Do what an owner would do himself.
Yeah.
That's all I mean. I do not mean to say that nothing has changed actually. In the last 250, 300 years, nothing has changed. Commerce still would prevail, but commerce has to come with a mindset of sailing safely and efficiently. Yeah, efficiency also. You would not want to sail a vessel which is not efficient, because finally it's money.
Of course, yeah.
So that was my idea. I do not.
Thank you for correcting. Thank you.
Yeah. So just a clarification. I do not mean to say anything different from
Okay.
what the local regulations would require or the international regulations would require. All of it has the same meaning.
Okay.
In one single line, do what an owner would do. That's
you.
my idea.
So again, never postpone repairs for commercial reasons. If you'll tell them we need to sail, we will pay a lot of money, we cannot be detained, they will not accept. They have to repair. The vessel has to repair. This old phrase, safety first, still matters. It will always matter. That is why it is painted on the superstructure of most vessels. Let's go back to AMSA. Actions taken by AMSA. AMSA may take the following actions if vessels are considered substandard. They can do a national detention, PSC detention, performance warning for a specific vessel or company, or they can also ban a vessel completely from operating in Australian port. So yeah, AMSA can detain, issue warnings, ban ships and fleets. Avoiding this is much easier than fixing it. Here you can see what a refusal of access notice looks like. This was just sourced from AMSA website, and as you can see from the list, well deservingly, UMMS is not on that list. It is not something you want your company or ship to receive. This is the refusal access for vessels. Once PSC loses confidence in your vessel, every future port of call becomes hard. Lastly, what is most important? Better crews, better maintenance, better reputation. These things lead to better charter and fewer problems. Cutting corners, that leads opposite direction. Thank you. That would be my presentation for today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher, for that very informative session. Uh, we always appreciate the assistance and cooperation provided to us by Marshall Islands. They are very prompt in guiding and assisting us whenever we need their support. PSCs can be difficult, we agree, but we ensure you that we will be better prepared each time. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, we break for a short recess. Please enjoy the tea and refreshments outside, and we will meet again in 15 minutes. So try to make it in time. Thank you very much.